What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Nerd Squish, and today we're gonna be talking about the Snyder Cut. You guys, it finally happened. I'm gonna put Batman down. I'm gonna put him down. I got excited and I grabbed a toy because I'm a child. But, well, as I say that in front of a bookcase that is filled with toys. Ever since Justice League came out in 2017 and we were all extremely disappointed with whatever that was, fans have been begging for Zack Snyder's cut of his true vision of what Justice League was supposed to be. So Zack Snyder dropped out. I hear that there was like troubles with what the, studio wanted him to do. They wanted a Marvel-esque type movie, and then on top of that, with his daughter passing away, he was just like, peace, I'm out, I can't take this. So Joss Whedon filled in, recut a lot of scenes, and well, it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. And I'm a Whedon fan, okay? I love me some Whedon. Buffy? I love Buffy. I love it. And I love Whedon humor. However, it didn't work. It didn't work. I think there are versions of Batman where Whedon humor could totally work. This movie was not it. If Justice League had started originally as a Whedon project, it could have been great. But to take Zack Snyder's style, which is extremely distinct and Snyder-like, and, chopped it up with Whedon, doesn't work. So, the fans demanded the Snyder Cut, and we got it, ladies and gentlemen. March 18th, we got the Snyder Cut. I have finally watched it. Took me 3, times. Like, I had to sit down 3 individual times to finish this movie. It is a 4-hour epic story. And quite frankly, I just don't have, I wouldn't necessarily say the attention span, although Matt would argue with me on that, but I just don't have the time to sit there and watch a 4-hour movie. I wanted to watch it like the day it came out, but I came home, I went to work that day, I watched a couple hours and I was like, dang, I ain't done with this yet. I gotta cut it off. Watched it again Friday night, finished it again Saturday morning. It took me 3 tries to watch this movie because it is a 4-hour epic story. However, totally, 100% worth it. Okay, a lot of people say it's too long. It's just too long. Well, I say to those people, get out of here. You're not a Batman fan. You're not committed to this. It is a commitment. If you're not committed to 4 hours of DC characters, then this is not for you, okay? What I'm wondering is if this was the original vision, like, was this supposed to be something that was like a part 1 and a part 2? That totally works, totally works. While I was watching this movie, I had trouble remembering Justice League. And I honestly, after I finished it, I was like, oh, maybe I should go back and like watch it to compare. And then I was like, no. I don't want to do that. I had trouble remembering, like, there were certain scenes that like stuck out in my mind that I was like, oh, okay, that was in, the original, blah, 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 whatever. But there was a lot of new stuff, like a lot. And I think this movie benefited from this 4-hour epic because you really care for the characters this time around. In the 2017 Justice League, you're, really just being introduced to Cyborg and Flash. And you don't really care for them. Like, they just kind of show up and Cyborg's like, okay, like, I'm like a robot and I'm gonna help you guys fight the bad guy. And like, his story, but you're not invested into it. This time, they are fully fleshing out the stories specifically for Cyborg and Flash. And I'm so glad they did, because you really feel for these characters, especially Cyborg. I feel like he was kind of the focus character. Everything kind of centered around him and his story and his heartbreak, and you really do feel for the dude. I mean, I shed tears. Not that that's hard. I cry a lot. All the time. Everything makes me sad. I have a lot of feelings, okay? There are moments in the movie where I'm like, okay, I can see why this was cut out, right? That doesn't happen often. There's a specific scene where Bruce goes to, you know, get Arthur, recruit him for the Justice League, and there's this scene where like all these people just come out and they start singing, and I was like, okay, I mean, y'all got some tight voices, like cool harmonies, but like, what are we doing here? That wasn't necessary. But there are so many scenes that it just makes these characters. So Snyder is known for these like slow motion like scenes, right? And there are two specific ones that stuck out to me watching this movie that I literally was just watching like open mouth, just like in awe, just in awe. The first one is the very first scene that you really see of Wonder Woman in this movie, where she's stopping this like dude from blowing up a building and like murdering all these children, and she comes in there like a badass. Like, I love this version of Wonder Woman. I personally believe that Wonder Woman is the best DCEU movie. I mean, it just is. It is. Sorry. And you really get to see her just kick ass, be a badass, be Wonder Woman. She's not just like, oh, you know, hey, you know what this team needs? A good looking lady. She's not just that. She kicks ass, especially in this scene. It is just, we needed that. The second scene that, you know, has a lot of this like slow motion stuff that just really benefits from that Snyder style is a specific scene with Barry, or the Flash, where he's going for a job interview, and he's, you know, talking to this lady interviewing him, and he's looking at the window and he's watching this pretty girl, and this car crash that's about to happen, and you watch him like slow motion go to save her and all this, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful, it's humorous, and it's great. And that's another thing that they cut out a lot of in this Snyder cut, is the humor. Whedon put a lot of, you know, the slapstick comedy that he's known for into his version of the Justice League. And that's taken out, because obviously that's not the tone that Snyder meant for this movie. Now, that being said, the character of Barry Allen, he's goofy. He's a goofball. Like, he's very comedic. He's very funny. However, he does it in a way that fits in with this universe much more. Like the scene where he's, you know, interviewing for this job and stuff like that. Like, there's some humor with the hot dogs and all this stuff, and it works in that world. You know, it's the humor that would exist in that universe. So I'm very happy that they kept a lot of his little quips and stuff like that, because he's a funny dude and it works. The thing that I was the happiest about with this new version of Justice League, which this is probably like the most stupid thing, but the terrible CGI lip mustache removal on Superman is gone. And I'm so happy for it, because that was the literal most distracting thing I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible. It was terrible. And I, to be honest, don't know if they reshot those scenes or if they just did better CGI on what they had. And that's what I really want to delve into and like do a lot of research, is what things they actually did reshoot. Because I know there was reshoots, but I don't know, you know, like I said, what's reshoots, what's just touched up CGI. I don't know. Because clearly they added and improved a lot of the CGI. Like Steppenwolf, way cooler in this version. I mean, like another one, I was like, okay, cool, Steppenwolf, and then you see him and he's all got his like shiny armor, and you're like, oh, okay, we're bringing out the big guns. Like, they improved a lot of the CGI. One thing that I will say, as much as I liked seeing more of Cyborg and more of Flash and more of their stories, which I super appreciate, since they're characters we have not seen in this, you know, DCEU movie situation, I wanted more Batfleck. And that's just like a selfish thing, because I'm sorry, I know a lot of people, whether they said it before they actually saw Ben Affleck as Batman, or whether it's after, a lot of people just don't dig it. And boy, are you wrong, because Batfleck is everything. When I heard Ben Affleck was gonna be Batman, I was excited from the get-go. I loved it watching it, and I need more of it. And it's so sad knowing that we won't really get a full movie surrounding Batfleck. Like, that upsets me to the core. I'm gonna throw up some like spoiler warnings because the ending is beautiful. The ending is so beautiful. They finish the battle, they victoriously look over the land and high-five each other, and it works. And then it goes on to show Cyborg listening to something that his dad recorded, and his dad speaking to him, and it's very emotional. I cried, obviously. It's very emotional, and they're playing this voiceover of, you know, all these different things, all these different scenes, and it hits you. It's got feeling, it's got meaning, and I liked it. We need to address the post-apocalyptic scene with Desert Batman and Jared Leto Joker, okay? I will be the first one to say that not only do I love Batfleck, but Desert Batman, post-apocalyptic Batman is like, it's hot, and I need more of it. I need more of it. So when I found out we were gonna have more scenes with that, and they were gonna be involved with Jared Leto Joker, I was like, okay, all right. The scene itself was very intriguing. It was very, very cool. I am not a hater on Jared Leto's Joker. I know a lot of people don't like him. I can see why they don't like him. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was fun. I thought it was different, and I really enjoyed it. This one was a little different. Not drastically different. I mean, he obviously didn't have all the little, you know, doodle bear tattoos on him or whatever. But it was super interesting to see Jared Leto's Joker and Ben Affleck's Batman, like, have an interaction, have a conversation. And, like, I need more. I need more. The scene felt very weird because it's literally, like, just at the end of the movie. And, I mean, you do learn, like, it's not I don't know, it is random, but it's not, like, it's explained. But at the same time, like, I hate that we keep seeing these post-apocalyptic things, and especially now that we know we're not going to get, you know, a sequel to this, like, we're never gonna know what this means. So it's kind of like, all right, Zack Snyder, like, why did you tease us with this? You teased me with this thing that I'll never learn why this exists, why this is happening. You're wrong for that. You are wrong for that. I need to know what's going on in this. I mean, okay, so I know the gist, but it just kills me that we'll never, you know, get to know that. So before the Snyder Cut was released, Zack Snyder did mention, like, hey, if I did a sequel to this, here's what would happen. And he delved into this post-apocalyptic world, this alternate, you know, universe. And he talked about it. And so that's even more upsetting that that's where a sequel could have gone. And we could have seen this fleshed out. Now we'll never see it. And I'm very upset. And I will never get over it. But overall, I loved this movie. I don't personally think it was too long. Did I watch it in one sitting? No. But it was so cool to watch this long, drawn-out story. You're fleshing the characters out. You're really caring for them. It wasn't like the first Justice League movie where you're just like, let me take little Aquaman, let me take a little Wonder Woman, let me take a little Flash, let me mix them all together, and oh, we got the Justice League and they're fighting stuff and we gotta care for it. No, it wasn't like that. They delved into this. We learned about these characters, why they're stepping in and they're caring about this and all of their motives, and it just worked. It's what we deserved the first time. And I am so thankful that Zack Snyder went back and reshot and recut and finished this version, his original vision for this movie, for the fans to see. I highly suggest, if you are a Batman fan, to watch this movie. I know, oh, the DC, you know, movies, they're not like Marvel, they've all been trash. Look you, I'm looking at you, okay? Are a lot of them not the best movies ever? No. Zack Snyder's Justice League is not the best movie of all time. Okay? I thought it was really, really cool. And it was just a joy to see some of these characters. But it's not the best movie of all time. But if you're a Batman fan, you have got to watch this. And you've got to stop comparing these things to Marvel. It's different. Stop. Just stop that. If you compare everything to box office, just success and these big popular things, you're not gonna like anything. So that is my true only complaint, is that we have finally seen, like, we've finally seen the Justice League on the big screen. And we're even teased in a scene at the end of the movie where Bruce and Diana and Alfred go into the old, you know, Wayne Manor. And Bruce goes into this empty room that's all messed up, and he's like, a big round table for all of us to sit and blah, blah, blah. Like, ooh, we were teased. I'll never get it. I just want more Batfleck. I just want more Batfleck. What I think would be really, really cool, and I know we're in talks of a Flash movie. I don't know if that's, you know, I know a lot of movies, just due to, you know, the pandemic and stuff like that, a lot of movies have been put on hold or canceled or whatever. So I don't know what's coming with a Flash movie, but what I think we really need to see is a Cyborg movie. The dude is wild. Like, he can do cool stuff. Like, mind-blowing things. Like, to a point where it's like, your average villain, besides something like Steppenwolf and Darkseid, like, this dude would be pretty unstoppable, because he can just, like, do computer stuff in his brain and, like, boom, you're defeated. And, like, I want to see a full movie about that. That would be so, so cool. Anyway, I've rambled about this. It's all over the place. I don't know if I made sense. In summary, Zack Snyder's Justice League, tight. Wonder Woman, tight. Flash, tight. Cyborg, tight. Aquaman, tight. But y'all know I'll be loving my man Batfleck. And it was just so good to see this Batman again. I'm gonna miss you. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below if you've seen the Snyder Cut and what you think. And let me know where you would like to see that universe go. What do you think a Justice League sequel from Zack Snyder would be about? Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you nerds later.